Hey there everybody, it's Missy with the Bella Blvd creative team, and I'm bringing you another monthly layout process video. My focus for this week is using the 6x8 paper pads, and so I have chosen several of them from all of the new collections from Bella, and I'm going to start with this cut file. This is the picture that I'm going to be scrapping. It's a cute little picture of my daughter, and I love the colors in her shirt, and that's what inspired me to go with this heart cut file and this pink background. This is a cut file that I found from the Just Knix store, and I love all of those hearts. And she has some hearts on her shirt as well as some flowers. And I chose a couple of backgrounds to begin with. I really like that blue sketchy watercolor paper, but I also love that really pretty pink paper. And I think I'm going to go with the pink because I like that it pulls the pink from her shirt. And so what I'm going to do is a technique that is perfect for 6x8 paper pads, and that is using them to back cut files. And the reason they're so great for that is because you use a lot of small pieces of paper to back a cut file. And I'm going to back most of these hearts. I'm going to leave a couple of them open. But this is something I enjoy doing. It does take some time, but I think the result is worth it. I just like to trace the shape of onto the paper of wherever I'm going to place it on the cut file, and then I just cut it out and glue it down. And I think this is a really fun and easy technique that anybody can do. If you have a Silhouette Cameo or an electronic die cutting machine, it makes it super easy to do this. And the fun thing about it is you get to use a lot of different patterns in small doses, and so you get all kinds of color, all kinds of patterns, like that heart there. That's an orangey yellow color paper with white dots. So if that was an entire background, it would probably be a little bit busy. Or any of these papers that you see here with all of these patterns, they're beautiful papers. But to use it, you know, in a 12x12 all by itself, it would be super busy. So what this technique allows you to do is use lots of those busy patterns in just small pieces. And there are lots of different things you can do with the 6x8 paper pads. This is one of my favorite things to do. And I'm not going to show you every single heart, but I just thought I would go through a couple here and show you how easy this is. Now, some cut files would take a lot longer, you know, depending on how many open spots there are and how many spots you wanted to fill, but this one didn't have that many. The longest part was deciding which papers I wanted to put where. And so I wanted this to be very colorful, so I went ahead and did most of the hearts. I added in several different colors. I used some paper from the Addison collection, from the Alex collection, from the Bright and Brave collection, so I kind of mixed and matched. And that's one thing I love about the Bella collections, is they are very interchangeable and you can do a lot of mixing and matching, and things always seem to go together. So you know me, I like to do some mixed media on all my pages, so I'm going to do a little bit of watercolor work here. I sped this up a lot. It's me just rubbing some white gesso on the background, and I don't want to cover up most of this pink. I want it to really show around the cut file and through the open spots, but I am going to add some watercolor here, and this is the new watercolor set from the Illustrated Faith line, Shanna's favorites, and I've used these in my previous process video a couple months ago. I'm just going to take some oranges, some pinks, and some golden yellow color here, and some plastic packaging, and just water it down and turn it over and smush it down to create some color on the background. I don't want it to be overpowering or too dark. I just want it to complement that pink, and I want it to show through all of those different colors that I've got going there on the cut file. And I don't know if you have tried the packaging technique or if you are interested in trying it. If you want to dabble in mixed media, it's super simple to do. You don't necessarily have to use gesso. You can do this straight on watercolor paper, pattern paper, or cardstock. But the gesso does help strengthen your paper, and it primes it and gives the paint and the liquid somewhere to go instead of just soaking right through your page. And it also makes it easier to blend. So I do recommend using the gesso, and it also comes in clear. And I believe there's also black gesso. I have never tried black gesso, but I mainly use the white and the clear. So you can start to see now the effect I'm going for here. I'm doing some splattering and just continuing on with the smudging with that piece of plastic there. And I just want it to be kind of a subtle differences in color on the background there. And I like to use a napkin sometimes to dab up some of the spots there. So off camera, I did some machine stitching. I decided to do the 3 hearts that I did not back. I did some teal, some yellow, and some pink machine stitching, and I did that while my background paper was drying. So I decided, since I've got some black in the cut file, I need some black splatters on my background, so I'm going to do that right quick. And I love how that's looking. I love these colors so much. It's so bright and cheerful. And our theme for this week, aside from 6x8 paper pads, is thankfulness. So I'm definitely scrapbooking someone who is very important to me. I'm very thankful for for both of my sweet girls, but for this layout, I'm focusing on one of them. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking some foam adhesive and just sticking it onto the back of all of these hearts. That stuff is great. I got it at Walmart. It's super cheap and you can bend it. I cut little teeny tiny strips and bent it, I'm tongue-tied, all around those hearts, and it sticks great. And you can see it gives the cut file a little bit of height, but it's not too thick. It's just right for scrapbooking, I think. So now what I'm going to do is bring in some thread from my stash, and I like to do this on my layouts. I love that it gives little extra pops of color and it gives great texture and it just gives some interest. I've been doing this for a while on my layouts. It's sort of a staple for me, in addition to the mixed media, and I've got lots of colors of the thread, and it's just thread that you buy at Walmart. It's nothing expensive, and I like to loop it up and make a little tangled mess out of it and just add it underneath things. And you can see I've got some teal, yellow, orange, pink, and a little bit of black thread going all over behind those hearts. And I'm going to take some time to just glue down everything and make sure it is not coming up. Okay, so now I'm going to work on everything else. My background is finished. I'm going to go back to my 6x8 paper pads. This is another thing that 6x8 paper pads are great for, and that is using them to back as layers behind your picture. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to pull a couple of pages from the You Are Loved collection and just make some little crooked layers there, because I'm going to add my photo at an angle down there at the bottom. And so that's mainly why I did not back that one big heart at the bottom, just because most of it was going to be covered up anyway. And I really like how this is going. Now my question is, how am I going to embellish this layout? So I pulled out this clear-cut booklet from the You Are Loved collection, and it has several really fun, it's like a thick plastic, it's like acetate or transparency, I guess you could say. And these are designed for Bible journaling. And I don't do Bible journaling, and so I'm going to use these as embellishments on my layout. And as you can see, they are a ton of cute things. And now each of these sheets has a plastic coating on it, so make sure you pull that off. So all I'm going to do is treat these like designs on paper. I'm going to cut them out and then fussy cut around the ones that I'm going to use. I cut several of them. I wasn't sure which ones I was going to use where, or if I was going to use them at all. But I did cut several out, and I do use a few of them. I'm going to use that love as part of my title. And I love all these different designs. There's flowers, there's hearts, there's arrows, there's words, there's lots of XOs. So much fun. So I took quite a bit of time going through those clear cuts, and I cut several things out. I then moved on to the paper pieces, which is the die cut pack, and I picked several flowers and things out there. going to use that XOXO, and I also, that little flower cluster there that my hand's on, that's one of the clear cuts, and so is that little orange circle with the heart, and then so is this love. So I cut all those out. I'm going to use love as part of my title. I'm going to staple that little heart right onto my picture and then glue it all down. So there really are a lot of things you could do with 6x8 paper pads. I find that a lot of times when you're ordering a collection or you're buying a collection, you can do a lot with not even ordering any of the 12x12 papers. Just using the 6x8 or the 6x6 type, the smaller type of paper pads, you can really do a lot. The patterns are smaller, so that's a big reason why I like to use them in a cut file, because you take the same sheet in a 12x12, everything is enlarged. So you've got small polka dots in the 6x8 versus large polka dots in the big one. And both of them are fine. It just depends on the look you're going for. I took out that round circle flower over on the left and added that really pretty flower with the leaves, and I like that it has the green leaves and it pulls the green leaves from the flower cluster that I have on the right. So I do a little more embellishing with the fundamental stickers here, just adding an arrow and a cute little tab, and then I added the word you under the word love, and so my title is going to be super simple, Love You. And I'm just adding in little doodads here, little stickers, hearts, in a couple different colors. I was going to add that light pink one, but it was just too much pink. So I did add the date and some journaling, and that's the final layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was super fun. I hope you will check out all the new Bella Blvd collections. Check out those 6x8 paper pads because they're awesome and you can do a lot of things with them. Please let me know if you have any questions or want to know anything about any of the products or any of the techniques that I did here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week.